Joined by our friends here in Ohio, my administration is fighting every day to protect and defend and grow American jobs. And you see what's happening all over the country. It's in Ohio, but it's all over the country. Pouring back plants and factories, pouring back into our country. They can't come back fast enough. Even if you look, Apple going to invest $350 billion. When I heard $350 billion, I said, you must mean $350 million. That's still a big plant. But they're going to be investing $350 billion. So many others coming back with massive amounts of money. They all want to be back in the USA. A lot of them left. They're coming back. We've eliminated a record number of job-killing regulations. That's one of the reasons they're coming back. And we're not finished yet. In some cases, you have statutory limitations where you have to go 30 days and wait, and then you have to go 90 days and wait, and then you have to go 15 days and wait, and then you go 90 days again, and then, you know what happens? We kill the regulation. And it's a thing of beauty. And we have filled out every form, every legal application, and we still actually have a long way to go on regulation. And we're going to have regulations. You need regulations for safety and for the environment, but not where you couldn't do anything, you couldn't move. So I think that's been a big, big success and a reason for our success. And we've made history by massively reducing job-killing taxes. And we didn't have one Democrat who voted for that. They want to raise your taxes. And they want people to come in from the border. And they want, I can't imagine they want, but certainly drugs are flowing across borders. We need walls. We started building our wall. I'm so proud of it. We started. We have $1.6 billion. And we've already started. You saw the pictures yesterday. I said, what a thing of beauty. And on September 28th, we go further, and we're getting that sucker built. And you think that's easy? People said, oh, has he given up on the wall? No, I never give up. We have $1.6 billion toward the wall, and we've done the planning. And you saw those beautiful pictures, and that wall looks good. It's properly designed. That's what I do is I build. I was always very good at building. It was always my best thing. I think better than being president, I was maybe good at building. Like you people, you're good at building. I think maybe we'll be better at president, David. That would be good. But we are building a really state-of-the-art, very, very efficient. Have to be able to see through. Makes a lot of sense. You have to be able to see who's on the other side. Nobody would even think of it. We've done prototypes all over, and we have something special happening. We've reversed the dangerous defense cuts, and we're giving our warfighters the tools, funding, and equipment they need to fight and to win. We have we're building up our military to the highest level it's ever been, and it was not in good shape. But it's now going to be very soon the highest level it's ever been. And by the way, that means jobs too. That's defense, always number one. Defense is number one. Even you job folks would say defense is number one. But it's a lot of jobs, millions of jobs. We've unleashed American energy independence. Energy exports are at a record high, and foreign imports are at their lowest level in much more than a decade. We've stood up for the American workers by finally cracking down on unfair trade that steals our jobs and plunders our wealth. They've stolen our wealth. They've stolen our jobs. They've stolen our plants and factories. No more. We're not letting other countries take advantage of us. Even our friends took advantage. Our friends are friends. They're wonderful people. But we said you can't do that anymore. Those days are over. Frankly, our friends did more damage to us than our enemies. because we didn't deal with our enemies. We dealt with our friends, and we dealt incompetently, because we're now finally putting America first. America first. Right? Just this week, we secured a wonderful deal with South Korea. We were in a deal that was a horror show. It was going to produce 200,000 jobs, and it did, for them. That was a Hillary Clinton special, I hate to say it. This will produce 200,000 jobs. She was right, but it was for them. It wasn't for us. So we've redone it, and that's going to level the playing field on steel and cars and trucks coming into this country. And I may hold it up till after a deal is made with North Korea. Does everybody understand that? Do you know why, right? Do you know why? Because it's a very strong card. And I want to make sure everyone is treated fairly, and we're moving along very nicely with North Korea. We'll see what happens. Certainly, the rhetoric has calmed down just a little bit. Would you say? Would you say? And we'll see how it all turns out. Maybe it'll be good, and maybe it won't. And if it's no good, we're walking. And if it's good, we will embrace it. But it's going to be very interesting over the next period of time. And South Korea has been wonderful. But we'll probably hold that deal up for a little while, see how it all plays out. We're keeping our promises, and the results are in. 3 million new jobs since Election Day. 3 million. And if I would have said that to you during the campaign, where we had tremendous support in this great state of Ohio, if I would have said 3 million jobs, they would have said, the fake news, he's exaggerating. Oh, they're fake. Unemployment claims are at their lowest level in 45 years. Lowest level. 45 years! African-American unemployment has reached the lowest levels ever recorded. Remember? Remember I said, what do you have to lose? What do you have to lose? And I'm so happy about that. Hispanic-American unemployment rate has also reached the lowest levels ever recorded. And wages are rising at the fastest level in more than a decade. Finally, 19 years, 21 years, people were making, last year, were making less money than they made 20 years ago. Now wages are rising because more jobs are happening. And very important, just like we're going to have choice at the VA, we're going to have choice for these great people, you're going to also have choice with jobs. You're going to have choice with jobs. Our veterans are going to have choice. And you're going to have choice with jobs. And now with our friends in Ohio, we're launching the next phase of America's economic comeback. We're going to rebuild America's crumbling infrastructure. Now, we're going to probably we have a very important election coming up, and they don't like the wins we've been getting. They don't like that the economy, the Democrats, they don't like that the economy is so strong. They don't like that they don't have one vote on the tax cuts. Not one vote. And they're all now saying, those tax cuts are tough. What they're saying to each other is not pretty if you're a Democrat. And we should do well. History says that when you win the presidency, that party doesn't do so well in the midterms because people get complacent. They get complacent. We cannot be complacent. We've got the greatest economy maybe ever, maybe in history. We have the greatest economy we've ever had. You know the expression from, I guess it was Bill Clinton, it's the economy, stupid. Well, it is the economy. If we have produced in a short period of time, because believe me, if our party, if we all together, it's we, if we didn't win, this economy would be a wreck. They would have added more regulations. You wouldn't have 3 million jobs. You'd probably go negative. Your 3.2 GDPs and 3 and 2.9 would have been below, in my opinion, would have been below 1. This country was headed in the wrong direction. We can't lose that by getting hurt in the midterms. So we can't be complacent. There's never been an economy like this. Everyone says it's the most important thing. And I don't know that it is or that it isn't. But politically, they always say it's the most important thing. We cannot let anything happen to stop what we're doing and where we're going. And all of the workers and all of the jobs, we want to keep them. And we want to protect our Second Amendment. You saw the other day, we're a very important... We're a very important and respected, in some circles, Democrat, said we should get rid of our Second Amendment. In other words, get rid of it. That's really it's tyranny. Could be right about that. So we're going to protect our Second Amendment. That's not going to happen. We have the best judges. We put on a tremendous amount of great federal district court judges. We'll be setting records. We are setting records. Appeals court judges, Supreme Court judge, fantastic, Justice Gorsuch. And we'll continue. But your Second Amendment will always be your Second Amendment. We're not doing anything to that. Not doing anything. We will breathe new life into your very rundown highways, railways, and waterways. We'll transform our roads and bridges from a source of endless frustration into a source of absolutely incredible pride. And we're going to do it all under budget and ahead of schedule. You ever hear those words in the public world? Under budget and ahead of schedule. And, you know, one of the things, and I just want to go on a little detour for a second, one of the things that wasn't mentioned by the folks in the back that we got recently in the bill was school safety. And with the Stop School Violence Act was passed. That's the Sandy Hook people, the great people of Sandy Hook. They wanted it so badly. That was done. We fixed very strongly the background checks. We got rid of the bump stocks. The bump stocks now are under very strict control, which I think everybody agrees it's fine. And we really did a job. Nobody reported it. Doesn't get reported. If somebody else does it, it's like a big story. But it didn't. And you know, fixing the background checks was so important. And it's a very, very strong fix of background checks. So I wanted to add that while we talk about infrastructure, while we talk about school safety, so important, but while we talk about all of these other things, that was part of what we got approved. And another part, so important for Ohio, because I know you have a bigger problem than most, is opioids and drugs. We got $6 billion that nobody talked about. $6 billion to fight the opioid problem and the drug problem. So it's another thing.